If our budget for the city is 10 billion or so for schools, and rising, even though enrollment has gone from 400,000 to 319,000, or maybe it's 313,000. It's the lowest level, by the way, since like the early 1900s. We just have a cost structure that's completely out of line with what the demand is. And again, I think back to just what I do for a living, which is investing. If you're a company with a cost structure that is completely out of line with your revenue or demand, like you can try and keep costs the way they are and pay everyone a lot, but you're going to go out of business. Like, now the school system can't go out of business, but it just becomes financially non-viable, and that's reflected in the fact that Chicago Public Schools are the largest sub-investment grade credit borrower in the country. And if they were able to right-size their cost structure to the demand that they have, it would free up, I don't know, $1 or $2 billion that could go back toward the city budget from property tax revenue. And an extra $1 or $2 billion would be really helpful right now when we're looking at deficits that are $1 billion plus, as far as I can see. So I don't think all of this goes on the city in terms of what can city government do under the current mayor and under future mayors to get things in order. I think there needs to be a really serious discussion with the school system about what does our cost structure for that look like if we just don't have the same demand for the number of schools that we did 15 years ago.
Well, Chicago Teachers Union just confirmed their next contract, which will run for the next few years.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to change anytime soon.
Are there other cost factors in Chicago Public Schools?
I mean, pensions are a big cost for them as well. Facilities maintenance has to be a big cost. We have all of these schools, I don't know the exact number, but we have dozens, probably more than that, of schools that are 1/3 of capacity less. You know, you still have these really big buildings that you have to maintain and you have to power. You can't let them fall apart and become decrepit. Like, there's still students there. I understand the prior history of consolidation, and there were a lot of angry feelings around that when Mayor Emanuel drove that. But like, I just don't know how you can avoid that. Like, what kind of an experience is it for a student to be in a school with 50 other kids? I don't know what kind of social experience that would be. And I would just think it's depressing to be in that type of environment. And I know it's not the most convenient thing probably to not have a school within your direct walking neighborhood to go to, but if the reality is that there's just not enough students to fill a school, then schools need to consolidate. My family's in the suburbs. Schools are consolidating on the North Shore. And their financial situation is a lot better than the cities, but they understand that it makes sense to have, let's say, 4 buildings as opposed to 6 buildings. You can have just more spending on education and less on facilities maintenance. So I think
for students to be able to be in a club with other, their other interests, or to be excited about sports, there's just maybe fewer opportunities, is what I'm hearing you say, when you're in a smaller facility and that facility has to keep the lights on and pay for electricity when no one's in those rooms.
Yeah, it's again, that can't be a good experience for a kid. And maybe some kids do have good experiences, and I shouldn't say that, but I would think it would be sort of
suboptimal.
Exactly. Like, when you're young, you want to be surrounded by other young people and have all these opportunities for friendships and activities, and you're not going to have those in a school with 1/3 of the students that it should have.
Are there any other factors that you're keeping your eye on as we're looking out into Chicago's future, the end of this decade, whether it comes to its budget, its economy, and its leaders?